Good morning, Sujit sir. Good morning, everyone. Naveen here.
Hello, Naveen. Good to have you.
Thank you, sir.
How is Bangalore treating you?
Bangalore is treating fine.
Right.
The home is a little chaotic here.
Okay. We are right now live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Ashish, shall we start?
Yes, sir, we can.
All
yes.
right, brilliant. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a very interesting program on self-talk. So we are here to pause and reflect. Does your self-talk give you confidence and encouragement, or distress and self-defeating? Our minds are constantly flooded with thoughts, and our thoughts are both positive and negative. A combination of conscious thoughts and unconscious beliefs and biases provide a way for the brain to interpret and process daily experiences. The subconscious mind operates as a fail-safe mechanism. Sometimes this can hinder our personal and professional growth. Living in the moment depends on how controlled you are in your thoughts. We will continue to be shaped who we are based on how we interact with ourselves. Hence, this is the reason why we must take control of our thoughts. So the session today is designed to help you to take control of your thoughts and to drive confidence and success. So before I introduce the speaker, I would like to welcome all of you again. My name is Sujit Christie. I'm the president of ISC Squared Colombo chapter. I also want to thank our partners, Association of Information Security Professionals, Singapore, Women in Security Alliance, Philippines, SLASCOM, Sri Lanka, that is Sri Lanka Association for Software and Services Companies, ISACA Sri Lanka chapter, IEEE Young Professionals, NSBM Green University, the student chapter of Commerce and Decisions. And finally, not last but not least, Hislop College from Nagpur. So it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Asita Wickramarachchi, a gentleman who I've known, I've worked, interacted in several locations. He has 20 plus years of local and international experience. So he has worked with big brands such as IBM. So he's very familiar with technology. He's also popularly known in the social media platform as the 1 minute motivation founder. So you can catch him on the social media platform, Facebook, where you would find him giving you motivational tips every day. And it takes just 60 seconds. He's also a sales coach for Codification, a UK-based company, and a CEO of Hash33, a digital consultancy firm. So he's a very talented individual. He's a trainer, a motivational speaker, and also there's also another side of him. He's a fitness freak, right? He motivates people to stay trim and fit. So without further ado, I hand over the session to Asita. So we encourage all of you to participate because this is going to be an interactive session. Turn on your cameras when you speak. Feel free to ask any questions if you have during the session. And for those of you who want to inform your friends, you can let them know that we are live right now on LinkedIn and YouTube. Asi, over to you.
Thank you, Sujit, for that wonderful, kind introduction. It's actually an absolute honor to share my thoughts and wisdom and the knowledge with you. And thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for coming online on a Saturday morning, early in the morning. So like Sujit said, if you're comfortable to switch on your cameras, please do. And okay, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal, right? So deal is, let's switch it on camera for 5 to 10 minutes max. And then you can switch it off. Again, after 10 to 15 minutes, you can switch it on, right? So if you are willing to take that challenge, then I'll be the most happiest person. Right. So before we start, let me ask this question from you. Why are you here? What is the reason you are here? Amy, you can unmute yourself or else you can use the chat box. Why are you here? Amy, would you like to answer that question? Or Amy or Mahi? To learn about my self-talk. Absolutely awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much for responding. Tishani, why are you here? Tishani, Naveen, you can use the chat box to respond, or else you can unmute yourself and say. There's no right or wrong answers, right? To improve on self-talk skills. Awesome, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas with us. So let's start. So basically what we are going to do is let's quickly do a small entertaining exercise. How many of you are ready to do an entertaining exercise? You can raise your virtual hand because unfortunately I can't see the physical hands. You can use the small animation, what do you call that, software on the Zoom. You can raise your virtual hand, say if you are ready to do this small exercise. It's an entertaining exercise, right? Don't think about a giraffe. Don't think about a pink, brown spotted giraffe. Don't think about a pink, brown spotted giraffe seated right in front of you. And it's looking at you right now and smiling and waving his hands. Friends, if you envisioned everything I said, if you saw everything I said, it means your inner dialogue is in charge, not you. I repeat, your internal conversation is in charge, not you, right? So my promise to you today is within this hour, I'm going to share 4 simple, extremely powerful and practical steps that you can, that's going to help you to, and also to enable you to take charge of your inner dialogue. How cool is that? How many of you are interested to take control of your inner dialogue, inner conversation? How many of you are interested to do that? If you are interested, you can type yes on the chat box, right? And that's my promise to you, right? And the same way, I want you to promise not to me, but to yourself that you are going to give 80% energy, not 100%. Let's forget about 100. Give 80% energy and 80% effort to basically to learn this new concept. Okay, good. Sounds like a plan. Yes, yes or yes? Can you give that commitment to yourself? Not to me, right? To yourself. Awesome, fantastic. I'm getting messages. Yes, yes, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, right? So let's take your right hand. Let's take your right hand, tap on your left shoulder and say, I am going to give 80% energy. I'm going to give 80% energy. I'm going to give 80% effort to learn these new concepts. I'm going to have fun while I'm learning. Tell that to yourself. I'm going to have fun while I'm learning. What I learn is going to help me to grow. And I'm awesome. I am brilliant, and I got this. Give a good tap to yourself. Give a good tap to yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that commitment. Right? So I have a request, a small request before we move on. Don't consider me as a coach. Don't consider me as a mentor. Can you consider me as a friend? Yes or yes? Right? Can you consider me as a friend? Yes, awesome, fantastic, right? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of my experiences, and all this experience that I'm sharing, it's not something that I have created. These are the things that I have learned from my mentors, learned from my coaches, when I invested time on self-development, right? So the first step of learning is allowing yourself to put yourself in uncomfortable situation. And on a Saturday morning, rather than sleeping, you, my friends, are here to learn, and that's a commitment. I salute you for that. I take my virtual hat and respect you for doing that. Thank you so much for supporting yourself to grow yourself. That's the first step of self-development, right? So I know that you have an expectation to master your conversation, which is good. Imagine an individual usually think about 50 to 60,000 thoughts within 24 hours, right? And if this conversation, basically these thoughts, are created through the conversation that we are having within ourselves, and assume 80% of these conversations are disempowering, what's going to happen? Within 24 hours, if 80% of your thoughts are disempowering, what's going to happen? You will feel sad, you will feel depressed, right? Because these thoughts are disempowering. So what you're going to gain is the moment you take control, these inner thoughts, inner conversations, it doesn't have to improve to 100%. Let's improve for 80%. And if these 80% internal conversations are empowered, imagine how you can change your life. Right? So powerful, isn't it? So only 80% effort. Right? Let me quickly ask this question. What are habits? What are habits? Vagisha, would you like to answer? Ulasti, Malit, don't worry. This is a safe place. We are not going to judge you, right? Because we are friends, right? Friends never judge anyone, right? You can use the chat box. A routine. Thank you, Hola. A routine.
Asita, the habit, the way I see it is what is convenient to you, what you do it regularly without any thought.
Thank you, Naveen, for sharing that. I love that answer. What is convenient for you, for us, the individual convenience, right? And also there's the things that we do as a routine, right? I love this answer as well, probably without much of thought, without thinking, we do things as a routine, right? So basically, simply if I put it across, habit is a behavior, right? We practice frequently, every single day, we practice these behaviors, these patterns and your body, unknowingly you master these activities. So your body knows how to do it better than your mind. Right? Basically your body knows how to how to complete these particular tasks, these routines better than your mind. Right? So here's the thing. I used to be like this as well, right? I used to start the day with thinking about problems. Some people, they start thinking about their problem as soon as they wake up. The first thing that the first thought that comes to your mind is about the problems. Right? So when you think about these problems, let's replace the word problems with challenges. Okay, so how this is happening is basically all these thoughts or memories are stored as a document inside our brain, right? And they are recorded in your mind. And these memories are linked with people, these memories are linked with places, these memories are linked with events. Right? Now, if your mind is consciously or unconsciously, consciously or unconsciously, continuously providing this information to you about your past, what's going to happen? You are going to imprison yourself in this past. You are creating a prisoner within yourself. Simply put it across. That's when people say you are living in the past, or I am living in the past. It means when you live in the past, you are ignoring your now, your present. When you live in the past, you are ignoring the present, what's happening right now. Right? The more you spend time in your past, my friends, the more your past will become your predictive future. It's so powerful. The more you spend time, or the more you invest time in your past, it's going to become your predictive future. Your future is predictable because you are investing a lot of energy and time in those disempowering thoughts or your problems. And this is why people say they go through the similar negative experience. Why it is always happening to me? This is why you tell yourself, right? The problem is each of these old, I would say, memories, all these disempowering thoughts or negative thoughts are connected to feelings. We are emotional human beings, isn't it, friends? Human beings are emotional. We are emotional human beings. The moment you think about these problems, you feel unhappy, you feel sad, and you feel the pain. Because all these emotions are connected with an incident or with people. You imagine this problem or you imagine these challenges at that time. How you think and how you feel creates your current state. If you're taking notes, write this down. How you think and how you feel, not other people, right? How you think and how you feel creates your current state, creates your now. Right? How many of you are with me? How many of you are with me so far? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Right? Good. Let's quickly do an entertaining assessment as well. It's called entertaining assessment. Thank you so much for switching on the cams. Right? I respect. Right. So grab a piece of paper or a pen if you're using a notebook, that's perfectly all right. Right. So write down 3 disempowering activities that you do every single day. 3 negative activities, not habits, okay? Activities. Write down 3. So don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to share this information with others or openly. Be absolutely truthful when you're writing this information. Right? So probably as an example, these activities can be spending unnecessary time on social media, waking up late, probably drinking coffee too much, right? Watching Netflix or eating junk food, any negative tasks, activities, write 3. Write 3. Right? Just 3. Be absolutely truthful when you're writing this information. You have to be honest to yourself. Right? Be honest to yourself when you're writing these activities. If you feel these activities are disempowering you, if you feel these activities are negative, and these are the activities that you must write. Now, when you're writing it, you're having this internal conversation. Is this a negative activity? And your mind says, oh, no, this is not. This is helping you. Right? Good. Type done if you completed that task. Type done. Type done in the chat box if you have completed that task. Done. Thank you, Naveen. Thanks a lot. Right. Others? Fantastic. Good. Thank you, Vagish. Wonderful. Now, write 5 addictions. The next step is identify 5 addictions. Don't worry, you're not going to share with anyone. These are your addictions, right? Maybe eating junk food can be an addiction. Perhaps watching pornography can be an addiction, right? So don't judge when you're writing it, because this is you. This is who you are. Perhaps scrolling up and down on your social media, it can be an addiction. 5 addictions. Okay. Be truthful when you're writing it. Right? So you are not going to deceive yourself when you're writing this information. This is you. This is who you are. Because the first step for you to change your internal conversation is, my friend, you have to have clarity. You must have clarity about the activities, about this empowering thoughts. If you don't know, then you don't know. When you don't know, it's going to help you to take action, certain action, to change your life, right? To be better than yesterday. If you are done, you can type done. 5 addictions. Good, done. If you're done, you can type the chat box saying done. Thank you, Naveen. Right, friends, can I give you a realization? How many of you are ready to receive a realization? How many of you are ready to receive a realization? You can raise your virtual hand. Let's raise your virtual hand. Use that button and raise your virtual hand. Thank you. Right. So, before I come into the realization, sometimes, do I really have to raise my hands? These conversations are already happening. Do I really have to switch on the camera? Do I really have to type the answer in the chat box? That's the internal conversation that we're having, right? So why you are here is basically you want to change this internal conversation so you can take control of your life. So stepping into an uncomfortable zone is the first step. Even if you don't feel like raising your hand, just do that one uncomfortable thing, because it's going to record in your subconscious mind. Right? Remember, all these memories, all these emotions, all these activities are linked with people, situations, and time, and locations, and incidents. It takes a snapshot and record in your memory. Snapshot is a memory, right? And the brain stores this information. Right? Let's take that action. Let's take that action to do the uncomfortable thing. Right? Good. Fantastic. So the realization is, my friends, How many of you are ready to receive this realization? Right? Are you ready to receive this? Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right? So friends, some people create a coping mechanism to cope up with the challenges or to deal with the problems. They create a coping mechanism. This is how negative habits are formed. This is how addictions are created as a coping mechanism to deal with the problem or to deal with the challenge. The realization is addictions are not a problem. Addictions are not a problem. If you're taking notes, write it down and highlight. Addictions are not a problem. Negative habits are not a problem. Your addiction is the solution for the problem. Since you don't know how to manage this problem, you get addicted to certain activity or to certain task. Your negative habits are the solution to your problem. Make sense? How many of you are with me? Does it make sense? Right. So when you don't know how to manage these problems, when you don't know how to manage these negative thoughts, these disempowering habits, we as human beings create addictions. So when you create these negative habits or when you form these disempowering thoughts, it's going to be difficult to focus on the current moment, focus on now. Self-conversations will help you to focus on your now, rather than allowing you to live in your past. It's going to help you to focus on your now, the present. Here's a universal truth. When you continuously invest time in these disempowering tasks, it becomes your daily habit. All the negative habits that you wrote, if those habits are disempowering you, if those habits are negative, right? What's going to happen? You're going to lose the control of your present. You're going to lose the control of now. We do the same set of routines, same sort of behaviors every single day, isn't it? Yeah, you get out of the bed at the same side, you check your mobile phone, then you get up, you grab a coffee, use the toilet, take a shower, you put on clothes or leave the house or take the cab or drive to your work, you go through the same area, you see the same trees, you see the same buildings, you do the same things, and you converse with the same kind of individuals, you are experiencing the same emotions or rather similar experiences. It's programmed, the same things are programmed. And you're complaining, my day is bad. I am not living into the highest potential. I'm not living an exceptional life. Right? And every activity you do becomes a routine inside your brain. Every activity you do, it becomes a routine in your brain. And you are unconsciously running a program. You're programmed, no doubt, period. Every activity that you do, it's programmed in your subconscious mind. You are unconsciously running a program, my friends. Right? And you know what? You get really, really, really comfortable with this program. Even if you don't like this program, you get comfortable. And you still enjoy this program. Why? Because it's so comfortable for you. My friends, I don't know who needs to hear this. The worst part of this program is you think your life depends on this program. That's the worst part of it. You think your life depends on this program. Your life depends on the activities that you do. That's the worst part of it. Right? So we operate with the program. We operate with the program set of behaviors, emotions, habits, attitudes, beliefs, perceptions, you name it. It is all program. We operate with these activities, right? So how many of you want to know how it's programmed? Type yes if you want to know. How many of you want to know how it's programmed in your mind, in your subconscious mind? Type yes if you really, really want to learn how it's programmed. Type yes, type yes, type yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Naveen. Yes, yes, yes. And Vagisha, Roshini. Wonderful, wonderful. I can see Glory, right? Hola. Sapna, thank you so much. I mean, I see that you guys are taking action and breaking that uncomfortable situation. Beautiful. I respect. I respect. I respect. I respect. Thank you so much. Right? How we have programmed ourselves is because of our internal conversations. Underline, if you are taking notes, underline internal conversation. It's because of our internal conversations. It's because what we tell ourselves. It's how we converse these conversations with ourselves. Right? So as human beings, as people, as humans, the most powerful, I would say, the superpower we have is the thinking ability, my friends. That's the most powerful superpower we have. To think, to think, to think. And the best part is when we get little triggers, you tell yourself, hey, I want to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want to be financially free. I want to build this business. I want to have this X amount of money. And that conversation is an empowering conversation, right? I want to live a better life. I need to be happy. You're conversing that information with yourself. So when you're having that empowering conversation, my friends, here's the thing. Our mind is on a whole new different level. When you have this empowering conversation with yourself, our mind is on a different level. But our body is a whole different program. Interesting, right? When we think empowering thoughts, our mind is in a different level. However, our body is a different program. We operate differently. Our body operates differently. How do you begin to take these changes? How are you going to make a change? Reprogram yourself. Right? It is by reprogramming your subconscious mind. It is by reprogramming your conversations, internal conversation. It is from the internal conversation. The reprogramming happens through the internal conversations. Right, friends, few of you responded that you wanted to master this self-conversation. And our objective is to master this self-conversation, right? It's not to stop this conversation. You must have this conversation. You must have these negative conversations. You can't be positive always. No. It's not going to have work like that. You must have these negative conversations as well, right? But you're going to master these conversations, right? There are proven studies. When you constantly have negative self-conversations, negative thoughts, it will impact your physical and mental well-being, right? There are proven studies. When you constantly think about these negative thoughts, and that's why you feel stressed. That's why you feel depressed. So when you feel stressed or when you feel depressed, a realization is, which means that your internal conversation must change. Your internal conversation has to change. When you feel a negative emotion, when you feel stress, which means that your internal conversation is not supporting you. Make sense? Yes or yes? How many of you are with me so far? How many of you are learning so far? How many of you are learning something new so far? How many of you are getting realizations? Right? And all what I'm sharing with you is the things that I have learned through my mentors and coaches. Right? This is not something that I have created. I'm not the owner of this content. This is not something I have created. I have learned and I have practiced, and I know these activities are working. Okay, so take whatever necessary for you, remove whatever unnecessary for you. Okay, we are in a learning environment. Good, fantastic. So friends, most of us, we wait for a crisis, we wait for a disaster to happen to make our mind to change. The truth is, you don't have to go through a problem to change your life. Why you are waiting for a problem to change your life? The moment you master your self-conversations, that's where the first step of change happens. The moment you decided to take control of your inner conversation, trust me, it's going to feel so uncomfortable for you. The moment you take that decision, it's going to feel uncomfortable for you. Right? Let me prove it to you. Right now, I'm going to prove it to you. Write about a crazy dream that you have. The biggest dream you have in your life. Write it down. Something you really, really, really wanted to achieve in your life. Write it down. Don't worry, you're not going to share this with anyone. Write it down. One of the biggest dreams that you have. Something you really desire. A life that you wanted to have. Okay, done? Good. Now, I want you to look at what you wrote and read it with your mind. Use your mind and read it. Don't use your vocal. Read it with your mind. After you read that, write down the first thought came to your mind. Write it down. Once you read that, write down the first thought came to your mind. The biggest or crazy dream that you have. The first thought came to your mind. Don't negotiate. The first thought. Don't negotiate with yourself. The first thought came to your mind. Write it down. How many of you had negative response? Negative thoughts? How many of you had positive response? If it is positive, it's really, I had a question. How?
And that was my first thought. Yeah.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you so much for sharing that. How? The unknown, right? How I'm going to achieve this? Right? So, Naveen, consider that as a disempowering or a negative thought, which is good. Right? So, when you think about that biggest dream or the desire, and when you don't know how, you feel uncomfortable. Possibly it's on my private jet. Wonderful, Sujit. To own my private jet, I love that. Biggest, craziest dream. Wonderful. You must have these dreams, right? You must have these goals, right? So when you feel uncomfortable, when you want to do something different to your life, to impact positively to your life, your body communicates to you and say, hey, why are we doing this right now? It's so uncomfortable. Can we go back to our familiar ground, familiar surround? Your body communicates to you. Why? When you have empowering thoughts, your body is programmed at a different level, right? It's not syncing with each other. So your body start influencing your mind. Hey, don't do it. Don't do this right now. Let's do it tomorrow. People say it procrastination. You use fancy words, right? Don't do it right now. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's start tomorrow. Come on, you are never going to change. I know you're not going to change. It's not going to work. There's a Sri Lankan cartoon called Dostara Hondaita, Dr. Doolittle, right? So there's a character called Chow Chow. You call it the Chow Chow effect. No, this is not going to work. It's not going to happen, right? So don't do it right now. You have not done something like this. This doesn't feel right, right? Let's do it later, right? When you have this internal conversation repetitively, you begin to believe this negative story. You begin to believe this story. You respond to that story as if it's the truth. So same thoughts, my friends, lead to same choices. Same choices leads to same behaviors. Same behaviors leads to same experiences. Same experiences produce same emotions. And here's the thing, same emotions produce same results. Starting with thoughts. You can't go to new destination by opening new doors. If you open the same door thinking to go into a new destination, no, you can't. It's the same door, it's the same destination. Your body is, my friends, your unconscious mind. If you are sitting down and start thinking about some future worst case scenario, and you begin to feel that emotion, you begin to feel that fear, right? What's going to happen? You are believing that truth. It's going to be your new truth. That's what happened. Your body can't, or rather your mind, I would say, can't tell the difference between a genuine experience or an experience that you have created, or an experience you have imagined or visualized. You can't, your mind can't tell the difference. Because we feel that emotion, right? And this emotions leads to believing the fiction that you have created. It's a made-up tale. It's not your truth. You created that story in your mind, and you believe that story. When you constantly tell that story, you're not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. You constantly tell that story to yourself, you start believing, actually, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. When you repeatedly reinforce this emotion, this fake story ultimately becomes your new truth. Constantly tell that to yourself, it becomes your new truth. It's the truth that you believe. Friends, don't fight these negative thoughts. Don't fight it. No, don't fight it. But don't believe the meaning that you give to this new thought. Don't believe the meaning, right? These are negative thoughts. Okay, let's do something interesting. I need a volunteer to do that. Sujit, can I have a volunteer? Can someone be volunteered for this exercise?
Okay, I'll
Naveen,
take the plunge. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Naveen, thank you so much. You have been an amazing soul. Thank you so much for giving 100%. It's not 80, this is 100%. What you are going to demonstrate right now, it's going to impact positively in others as well, right? Okay. So do I have the permission to push you before we start this?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes. Not to worry, go ahead.
Right. So I am going to put you in an uncomfortable state right now. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wonderful. So it's going to be a little emotional as well, Naveen. Other friends who are connected, just observe Naveen. Observe him. Okay. All right. Close your eyes. Take some heavy breathing. Take some heavy breathing. Close your eyes. Stay comfortably. Sit comfortably. I want you to think about a negative incident in your life. Something, a disaster that happened to your life. Something negative. Would you like to share that incident with us within a couple of minutes? You don't have to explain everything. Just a glimpse of that incident.
This was about my first sister. I couldn't help her 100%. Instead of helping, I actually did a disservice, and then she lost the trust. Now she just doesn't trust, even though the intentions were right. So.
Okay. So go to one incident. Visualize that incident with your mind. Create that incident right now. Who is with you right now in this situation?
I'm there and my sister's there.
You and your sister, okay. Right. What is the experience you are having right now? What are you experiencing? What kind of an emotion that you're experiencing?
Yeah, I feel helpless there.
You feel helpless? Right. And when you say you feel helpless, if you give a rating to that helplessness out of 10, what's the number that you give? Is it 8 or 9 or 10 or 5?
I would give 9.
You give 9, okay. That's a powerful number. No. You know that you are such a disappointment for your sister, right? And for your entire family. Everybody hates you, Naveen. Nobody loves you. Nobody cares about you. Right? You are helpless because you don't know how to help people. Right? Feel that emotion, that helplessness. How does your shoulder feels right now?
I could have changed that situation.
Yeah.
I could have stood.
Yeah, you could have changed it.
Just said no.
You could have changed it, but you didn't change it, right? What do you tell yourself at this point? What are the words that you are using? What do you tell?
Cursing myself to not take that step. I did not dare enough to take that step. I could have just said no, and then things would have been very good.
Right, now take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I want you to stand now. Stand. Let's stand. Okay, good. Now, do you know the Superman posture, Naveen? Do you know how Superman stays?
Yeah.
This posture? How Superman?
Okay.
I want you to stay like this. I want to stay like this, right? Okay. Change. Okay, good. Now, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Feel calm inside yourself. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. If you wanted to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you want to open your eyes, you can stay open. But I prefer if you can close your eyes. Think about how you wanted to change that situation. Tell me how you want to change the sister situation. What kind of things that you could have done?
I could have just said no and then firm decision, and this is what I would have said.
Right. If
Look
I
at
am
the
your
positive
sister,
sides. Look at the positive sides. Why this option is right, and
Good.
leave it to her to make that decision, and not force her.
Okay. So tell yourself, Naveen, tell yourself that you are empowered, that you are kind, that you are the force of good, that you are here to help others. Tell that to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Share that love to yourself. And think about something that you really wanted to achieve in life. Something crazy, can be a crazy thing. Can you describe that to us?
Yeah, climb the Mount Everest. That's been my
Wow.
lifelong dream. Yeah.
Can
I
you,
don't
can
call it
you,
as a dream anymore. I need to work on it. That's it.
all right. Okay. It's okay to have a dream. And take me also with you, right? When you are going there.
Sure, please.
You have to train me.
Oh yeah, thank you, Dad.
Right. Good. Climb the Mount Everest. Amazing. Amazing. How would your life change if you achieve this task? This impossible task. How would your life change?
I would conquer myself with all odds, and then I'll be able to share my story to encourage others to live their life on their terms.
Wow. You want to encourage others to live their own terms. That's beautiful. You can conquer yourself. Amazing, amazing. So I want you to imagine that you have conquered your goal, conquered your life. Imagine that you are going and conquering the Mount Everest. Feel what you're feeling right now. See what you see when you conquer this mountain. Get into that state. Feel that emotion. Would you like to share what you see?
It is very calm and surreal when I'm in the summit, and then on my return, I'd be speaking in a large gathering, sharing my experiences.
You feel so calm and you are sharing your experience with a large gathering. You see people around you, they are encouraging you, right? How do you feel right now with this?
And I feel proud of myself that I made that decision and then walked that path.
That's beautiful. You feel so proud of yourself because you have conquered the Mount Everest, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. How do you rate this feeling, this proudness out of 10?
10 out of 10, no compromise.
Man, you are phenomenal. 10 out of 10, amazing. Right, what do you tell yourself right now? What are the words that you're using right now?
Pure positive words saying that
share those positive words.
There's a process, follow the process, and always repeat. Have this mental visualization that you're climbing the mountain and you're speaking to large gathering.
What a specific, tell me a specific word you are using. Sorry to interrupt. Tell me a specific word that you are using to tell yourself.
Yes, I did it.
Sure to give it to yourself and say, do your crazy dance and tell that you did it.
I did it. Yeah.
With more
clap
power,
for
with
myself.
More power. With more power.
I did it, yeah.
Amazing.
Just clap for myself and pat on my back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You may take your seat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Naveen. Amazing. You are phenomenal. And you know what? If you can make it from your mind, you can make it from in your reality as well.
Absolutely.
You are a conqueror and you did it. You did it. Right?
Thank you, Dad.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we share some love to Naveen? Shall we share some love to Naveen? Amazing. Thank you so much, Naveen. Thank you so much for playing full on. Right? Guys, did you notice when he was talking about that negative experience, his posture went down, he was looking down, and he was not too confident with the words and the words and the meaning that he gave to that words, that he's helpless, he's not worthy. That's the meaning he gave to yourself when he's in that emotion. And the moment he shifts from that emotion into the positive conqueror, I'm going to name you, I'm going to give you a name to that character. You are the conqueror. That the conqueror every time must come whenever you are doing something. Whenever you face a challenge, the conqueror must come. Right, I mean? So you have created it within milliseconds. From negative emotion to positive emotion, you just transfer just like that. Within few seconds, he went through that emotion. And when you dwell with negative emotion, imagine, is another realization. Friends, you can shift this emotion within few seconds. The first, I told you, I promised you that I'm going to share 4 steps. In fact, Naveen demonstrated these 4 steps. He acknowledged that challenge, accept that challenge. That's the first step number 1. Accept that you are facing this challenge. Acknowledge this problem. When you acknowledge, when you know that you don't know, that's where you can take action. Second, change your environment, change your physical body. I ask Naveen to stand and stay in that Superman posture. The moment you go into a different state, you're breaking a pattern in your side. Because if you try to think positively from that negative physical environment or physical body, you're not going to make that change. Change your environment, change your physical body. That's point number 2. Point number 3, change the meaning you give to that emotion. The meaning that Naveen gave to the words that he used, I'm a conqueror. I can do this. From helplessness to conqueror. See the difference. Same individual, but 2 different parameters. If you constantly tell this helplessness, you feel helpless. You will feel that. But even if he hasn't achieved that, he was constantly telling that to himself, you all witness the change. The 4th step is action. Even the world's best coach or mentor comes and deliver a presentation or deliver amazing content, it's not going to work if you don't take action. Action, everything. And measure this action, measure these activities. Even if you don't take any action, measure that. I didn't take this action. Measure that. Is the first step of self-growth. Practicing the desired outcome, practicing the desired action by using your brain. I said your brain cannot tell the difference between the feeling, between the fake or the imaginary visualized situation. You can't, or the reality, whether this is real, whether this is fake. Brain cannot tell the difference. So what you are feeling, what you are imagining, you are creating your current present. You are creating the now. When you do this repetitively, your brain is being exposed to new experience. When you do this repetitively. 4 steps, my friend. Acknowledge your challenge. Change the environment. Change the physical body. Change the meaning that you give to your words. The moment when negative thoughts comes, write it down and see what is the meaning that I'm giving to these words, and write the opposite of that word. Just like negative is available anywhere and everywhere, positivity is also available anywhere and everywhere. Yin yang, good and evil. So you are diverting that conversation towards empowering you. Abracadabra. It's a magical word. It's the word actually come from Aramaic language. It means, the word is, I create as I speak. I create my life as I speak. I have added life to that meaning. I create as I speak. So you can create your life as you speak. In Hebrew, it's translated into, it came to pass as it was spoken. It came to pass as it was spoken. But more than that, I like the Aramaic meaning. I create my life as I speak. You can create whatever you want from your mind. With action, you can achieve anything. With activities. Friends, the words you use have so much power, especially it will help you to take control of your life. Acknowledge these negative emotions. When you acknowledge it and change the meaning, that's where you take the control. Remember to practice and practice to remember. Every single day we must practice. Thank you so much. You have been an awesome and amazing audience. I have took extra 7 minutes, but I know and I believe, even if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you, that you can make the change that you desire. You can achieve that crazy idea that you have written. Thank you so much and all the very best. Sujit, over to you.
Thank you, Asif, for that enlightening session. So none of us are perfect, and we have a different life story, all of us. But if you can learn the art of communicating with yourself the right way, you will have the power to guide you and have so much more control over your emotions, your life, and the choices you make. Right? You won't master communicating with yourself overnight. It's a constant battle. And it is something you master over a lifetime. But you can start right now by being more aware of your thoughts and what you're actually saying to yourself on a daily basis. So I encourage all of you to put into practice the few exercises which Asi walked you through. Very simple steps. And it's definitely refreshing. So Asi, once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and readily accepting my invitation to speak and create this awareness amongst our communities. So those of you who would like to reach out to Asi for to engage with him on a professional basis, you can find him on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn, he's on Facebook, or simply Google, or you can drop a note to me, reach out to me, and I will get you connected with Asi. Right? So thank you everyone for taking time, for being here, and I sincerely hope that this was a fruitful session, a time well spent for all of you on a Saturday morning. And before we wind up, once again, I would like to thank Association of Information Security Professionals Singapore, Women in Security Alliance Philippines, Sri Lanka Association for Software and Services Companies, SLASCOM Sri Lanka, ISACA Sri Lanka Chapter, IEEE Young Professionals, NSBN Green University, Commerce Students Club, and Hislop College for being here and supporting this program. And my board, ISC Squared Colombo Chapter Board, and myself, we are thankful to you, Asi, and for all those people who were able to make it. And those of your friends who could not make it to this session today, you can find the recording on YouTube. We have posted the link to you on the chat, or alternatively, you can find it on LinkedIn. And we'll be posting the links on Facebook as well. So follow us, like us on the Facebook and LinkedIn page, and also the YouTube page. And we look forward to seeing you on a future program again on another time. With that note, thank you so much and stay safe. Take care. God bless you all.
Thank you, Sudhir sir. Thank you, Asita.